We're talking college sports, and in the Deep South, college football is king. And in East Alabama, where Auburn University is located, the battle cry is War Eagle. Once again, it's Casey the GOAT for Vernon Speak Sports. We're talking Auburn football as well as college football like nobody's business. Go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section. The Fearless and True Game, we got a lot of opinions of stuff that we like to talk about down there. Also, if you want to see this particular article that I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to put it in the description so that you can actually look at this article yourself and see how you feel about how these things are going to come about. So Athlon Sports, as they are accustomed to doing, released the top 25 poll for college football. Very exciting, as we are about 3 months and a few days away from opening kickoff August the 24th. College football is going to start a little bit earlier. Miami and Florida will be playing one another on the 24th. Now back to this poll though. Just as we probably suspected, the top 3 teams in the nation goes about like this. You have Alabama, you have Clemson, and you have Georgia. Very predictable. I think no one in the country should be surprised about that setup. Now after that, things get a little bit interesting. Number 4, you have Michigan. So if the college football playoff were to happen today, it would look like Alabama against Michigan, Clemson against Georgia. Beautiful, beautiful setup. Marquee matchups. Could make a lot of money off a playoff like that. Then at number 5, you got Ohio State and Oklahoma at number 6. LSU, Florida, Notre Dame, and Texas A&M round out the top 10. I think that's very interesting, as the SEC pretty much dominates the top 10 at the top. And, you know, you got the Big 10 and the Big 12 in the middle. And then rounding out the top 10, you have SEC and Texas A&M and Florida. A reasonable poll so far, I would like to believe. Now, when we talk about the Auburn Tigers, Auburn has a lot of guys coming back. Of course, they have the quarterback battle going on. Also, you have some solidarity at the offensive line. Not sure how well they will play, but have all those guys coming back. Also, you have the defensive line, which will probably be one of the better defensive lines in the country. You have an experienced secondary. Still some interesting where the placement will be in the secondary. I like the idea of Javaris Davis and Noah Igbenogany as the boundary and field corners. But things get a little bit trickier after that when you start talking about who will be the nickelback, which we presume to be Christian Tutt. So when we look at this particular poll, Auburn starts out the Athlon Sports poll at number 20. I think this is a reasonable pick for the Auburn Tigers, who probably, if any sports writer in the country, will probably project Auburn to be, you know, 8 wins, 9 wins at the most, maybe 10 wins with the bowl game. I think this is a very fair pick. But for some of my Pac-12 people, I think this is very interesting because, you know, most of us throughout the offseason were ready to crown Oregon as the Pac-12 champions. But somehow Athlon Sports doesn't see it this way. Athlon Sports picks Oregon as the number 15 team in the country. And that's actually behind a number 13 Utah, actually, and behind a number 12 Washington. As a matter of fact, Athlon Sports, if this thing were said and done today, Athlon Sports would have a rematch of the Pac-12 championship from last year between Washington and Utah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how even the Pac-12 plays out, because sports writers, sports analysts, especially as it relates to Athlon Sports, projects a very close, though, they're very close in proximity ranking-wise, but projects a very, very close situation in the Pac-12. I think this is a great poll. I think this is a great way to start the season off. The polls are relatively fair. I have a few question marks as it relates to Florida and Texas A&M, but nonetheless, you know, I think either way, you know, you could have shake the bottom of the top 10 up and pretty much been okay. But I think the top 5 is pretty solid. You're talking Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Oklahoma. That's fair. We can give them that. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this top 25 poll. I was very intrigued by the placements after the top 10, especially in the Pac-12. I really projected Oregon to be a little bit higher. But hey, we have a long season ahead. The game against Auburn and Oregon in the Advocare Classic looms very large for both teams going into the season, and we will see how things go. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about this top 25 Athlon Sports poll. Definitely college football is in the air. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT for Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Until next time, guys, War Eagle.